Hey everyone, in this video we would discuss the topic of getting your workplace ready for COVID-19. As the WHO declared the outbreak of a new coronavirus disease in the Yunnan province, China, to be a public health emergency international concern, WHO started there is a high risk of COVID-19 disease spreading to the countries around the world. WHO and public health authorities around the world are taking actions to contain COVID-19 outbreaks. However, long-term success cannot be taken for granted. All sections of our society, including business and employees, must play an important role if we stop the spread of this disease. So now let's talk about how the COVID-19 spreads. When someone who has COVID-19 coughs or exhales the release of droplets of infected fluids. Most of these droplets fell on the nearby surfaces and objects such as the desk, table, or telephones. People could catch COVID-19 by the touching contaminated surface or objects, and they're touching their eyes, nose, ears, or mouth. If they're standing in 1 meter of a distance from COVID-19, they catch it by breathing of droplets or by exhaling it. In other words, COVID-19 spreads in similar way to flu. Most persons infected with COVID-19 experience mild symptoms and recover. However, some go to the experience more serious illness and require hospital care. Simple ways to prevent COVID-19 in our workplace. Low-cost measures which helps us, like employees should start going to do this now. Even COVID-19 is not arrived in the communities where they operate, they already reduce working days lost due to the illness stops in COVID-19. Make sure your workplace are clean and hygienic. Surface example, desks and tables and objects wiped with disinfected regularly. Why? Because contaminated surfaces touched by employees and customers is one of the main ways in COVID-19 spreads. Now let's talk about some promote of good respiratory hygiene in workplace. Display posters promoting respiratory hygiene. Combined with these communications such as the offerings of patients and referring with the health, ensure the safe marks in the condition over the closed hygienically disposing of them. Why? Because good respiratory hygiene prevents the spread of COVID-19. Advise employees to contracts to cancel the national travels, to advise them to going on business travels. Brief your employees, contractors and the customers that starts to spreading with mild fever of 37.3 or more needs to stay at home. They should stay at home if they have simple occasions or which may symptoms or infections. Keep communication promoting the message of COVID-19. Stay at home even you have just mild symptoms of COVID-19. Key consequences reduce COVID-19 risk. Before meeting or events, check the advice of the authorities in the communities to plan and hold the meeting event. Follow their advice. During the COVID-19 or events, provide information about the briefly producing both orally and written on COVID-19 and measures organizers to make this event safe for participants. Build trust, for example, as an icebreaker, practice to say hello without touching. Encourage regular hand washing, uses of alcohol, rub all participants at the meeting or event. Encourage participants to cover their face with a band of elbow or tissue if they sneeze or cough. Supply tissues and closed bins to dispose them in. Provide contact dealers or health numbers in the participant can call for advice or to give information. Display dispensers of alcohol patient promotely from the venue. After the meeting, retain the names of contact details of all participants. List of 1 month will help you to help the authorities to expose the COVID-19 spreads in short conversation. Thank you to all participants for the cooperation in the previous in that place. Before traveling, make sure your organization have the latest information as the areas where COVID-19 is spreading. Avoid sending employees to at higher risks of serious illnesses and consider them. Encourage employees to wash their hands and have gathered the ways of which they could do. Promote regular teleworking of organizations if the outbreaks in communities have function and support for small mediums and stay informed. Remember, now this is time for COVID-19. Simple precautions and planning can make a big difference, and action will help you to protect with your businesses. Way to stay informed, find the latest information from WHO on where COVID-19 is spreading. Advices from WHO on government should be used. Thank you.